and welcome back to the channel. So this is just an update to say now the CHURNET Valley Railway series is complete. All the videos are on the channel, the live streams, the individual episodes are on, and also the clips as well. So all the videos for the CHURNET Valley Railway are now on the channel. Okay, that is the final series because the next one that's coming up is, of course, the cruise. Okay. So I will be doing updates again over the weekend. I did a live stream yesterday just mentioning again about the plugs and which plug sockets to use in the room. And of course, my advice simply is take a travel adapter with you anyway. And that includes if you stay in a hotel abroad, but particularly for cruises, take a travel adapter just in case, whether it's a European one or an American one, whichever. But just make sure you take a travel adapter. That's my advice anyway. But in the cabins, you've also got USB sockets on the lamps, as I said in the video yesterday. There was a British one in the cabin I was in back in March. I was on deck 3 of the Discovery 2. It was actually cabin 3717, which is a solo traveller's room. Because I was in a corridor where all the other cabins were solo cabins, and they were inside cabins, not outside, where you've got a porthole. They were inside ones which are not a porthole or a window. But in there, all the sockets were, there was a British one and a couple of the European ones, plus the USB and the lamps. So again, just simple advice, take a travel adapter. Okay, that's what I'm going to say on that. But for now, yes, the next series coming up will be the cruise. So I will do an intro video on Monday, as I say, after work. Once the luggage is downstairs, I will do videos of that as well. And of course, as we set off for the airport and parts of the journey, and all being well, we should be through the airport check-in and security within half an hour or so of getting there. Hopefully the journey to the airport won't be a nightmare, because I know we're going around the time when people are going to work and of course school as well. So again, I'm sure the taxi driver will pick a route and probably do a wrap run where he'll avoid all the major roads like motorways and things where you've got a lot more traffic. But either way, I'm pretty sure we'll be there within the hour or so of leaving here. But of course, I will update you all in that on the videos as we get going. Because the ship has been to Athens just on Friday, just gone. So I don't know where it's heading at the moment. It's either heading to Kusadasi or it's heading to Mykonos. I can check it through the marine traffic website. But yes, so that's just basically to say that the CHURNET Valley Railway series is fully complete now. I will probably return there once more, probably in October, because the last Wednesday that they run the trains is the 15th. And then they don't run any more on a Wednesday until December, because obviously that's the Christmas area, the Christmas time of year. So they do run the trains during part of the Christmas holiday. But again, I won't be going down there during November anyway. But I will probably go on the Valley train, the trains during December, because it'd be nice to see it during the winter. And of course, I will go in October before they stop the Wednesday services. I will definitely go once more to the CHURNET Valley after the cruise. I will pay a visit once more to at least go on the trains once more before, the December period. And then I think the next time is March when they start up again on Wednesdays. But it's a really enjoyable railway. I've been 3 times now. I went at the end of July. I went 2 weeks later because I went to Foxfield. And then, of course, I went on Wednesday, just gone. So 3 times in a month is brilliant, really, or in 2 months is brilliant. But I will definitely go once more, as I've said. That's a guarantee. I do love going. It's a nice journey to take. And hopefully my mum will be with me because she wants to go as well. So I'll just say, well, come on, let's go then. We'll go up the CHURNET Valley, right? But for now, as I've said, that's a series we can discuss in the future. And of course, other things as well. I've obviously renewed the pass for Peak Wildlife Park. And I need to get back to the Who Zoo as well. To try and do the capybara experience. I'd like to do it. I mean, I did do it in March, but again, the capybaras didn't interact. But on that note, take a look at the animation that they've done based on the book, Cinnamon's Big Adventure. So it is funny. It's basically the characters from the book. It's really good how they've come to life in the cartoon. It's only about 4 minutes and 15 or 17 seconds, something like that. I say, but take a look at it. It's on YouTube, and I can put a link in the description of this video of that as well. And of course, go on the website and have a look on there yourselves. But for now, as I've said, the cruise series is coming up. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a big celebration for my mum and dad, because another week's time will be their anniversary, the golden anniversary. So there'll be lots of videos, exciting videos, and of course surprises, as I've said, but I'm not going to reveal those on here. So please subscribe to the channel at CarlSmith25. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates, because I will be doing some more before the end of the weekend. If you have any questions on cruising, please leave a comment in the comment section or on the social media group, because I will post this video on the social media platforms, on the groups on social media, for those of you that might have questions regarding the plugs. Again, my advice is take an adapter. If you want to book a restaurant before your cruise, you've got until the day before you go on your cruise to use the hub, Marella Cruise Control Hub, where you can book your restaurants, your spa treatments and your excursions. A lot of them are getting booked up now. As I've said, the Acropolis and Ephesus are both fully booked apparently, so you might have to do them on a different day or do something else. But again, you need to go on there and book them, because if you book on the ship, you may find that you're going to be disappointed, because everybody else will have pre-booked, because you'll get your tickets in your room if you pre-book. And it also saves the money coming out of your cabin account, because you have to register a card or deposit some cash on arrival when you check in. And also you'll be given your cruise card, which you use for onboard spends, and for your door key, which you basically just tap on the door. You don't put it in the slot, you tap it on the door, which is what you do on Discovery 2, because that's what I did back in March. Keep your card with you, maybe wear it around a lanyard, which is what I'm going to do. And of course you need to use that when you go into shops on board, and also if you play in the casino or bingo tickets or anything else on board, like drinks. If you're not all inclusive, you'll need your cruise card, okay? And of course when you leave the ship to do trips, because you have to show the port authorities the card when you enter the port from being out of the port, when you go out and explore on your own, or if you go on an excursion. But again, remember the golden rule: if you do go off and explore, please make sure you are back at the ship at least half an hour to an hour before it sails, because otherwise you will find yourself in a heap of problems, because you'll have to then try and get to the ship at the next port. And if all your passport information is on the ship, you are stuffed. You're going to find yourself in a mess and a lot of financial difficulty. So if you go on a trip with the ship, the ship will not go without you. That's what it says. If you do things on your own and you're not back, the ship will go. Okay, so make sure you are back. They usually tell you the time, what time to be back on board on the screen as you leave the ship. And they also put a wooden clock at the bottom of the gangway as well. Plus it'll be on your cruise news, which you can check in the paper copy or the digital one on the Navigate page. And of course it will be announced through the tannoy as well, because usually destination services come on and they mention the port that you're in. But please make sure you check the screens what time to be back on board. Usually the crew have to be back on board an hour before. Guests, it's usually half an hour before. I would just get back on the same time as the crew. Okay, so for example, if you're docked in a port between 9 o'clock and 2 o'clock, for example, I'd be back on board at 1. Okay, 1:15's fine, 1:30's fine, 1:45's pushing it, 1 to 2 definitely pushing it, 2:05, well, you're late. So you get the point. So just make sure you check the times of the departure time of the ship. Okay, so that's my advice. But yeah, as I say, if you are in a port, and I know when the ship goes to Rhodes, it's usually there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So make sure you're back on board at least between 1 o'clock and 1:45. Basically, I'll just be back. I'll just get back on board. Once you've been off for a couple of hours and think, well, yeah, okay, I'd like to stay longer, but the ship's going to leave. I don't want to leave him without me. So make sure you're back. But if you are on an excursion with the cruise, the ship will not go anywhere, okay? It will stay there. But again, I'd still make sure you're not late. Because also some people have been asking about if the ship docks in a port in the afternoon. Again, if you're on an excursion in the afternoon, you can generally have a bit of time off the ship depending on the length of your excursion. If you're not doing an excursion and the ship docks in the afternoon, then you can generally go off and explore. But again, make sure you're back in time for your departure. Because I know some cruise ships might dock at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they might depart at 7. Again, get back on the ship about 6 o'clock. Give yourself an hour before it goes, okay? It might be in a port like Dubrovnik between 1 o'clock and 9. So again, you've got 8 hours in port. Get back on board by 8 o'clock. That's what I would say. Give it at least an hour before sail if you are going off independently. If you are going off on a trip, the ship will still be there when you get back, because there'll be more than your coach that will be heading back to the ship. Yours might be back first, but there might be other buses that are either stuck in traffic, so the ship will wait. And it's just the same if you are flying over to the cruise terminal and you're one of the last flights to the ship. The ship isn't going to go anywhere until all the passengers are on the ship that need to be on it. Okay, so if you're one of the last couple of flights landing into Larnaca or Paphos, if you're going from Cyprus like we are going to be, the ship isn't going to go anywhere. And in fact, the last few Wednesdays, the ship has sailed between 11:30 and midnight, which of course is 2 hours ahead of here. So that's basically 9:30 and 10:15 English time. Okay, but again, you have to adjust your watches and your phones, but generally phones adjust themselves. Mine definitely does. It adjusts to the time where you are and resets back to the time when you land back in Britain. But yes, if you are on a flight in an evening, and you land at like 7, 8 or 9 o'clock at night into Larnaca or Paphos, if you're going from Cyprus, the ship will still be there. It won't sail till gone 11 o'clock, maybe even midnight, because those of you that arrive have to have your card scanned, which you will pick up at the cruise terminal, and then you just go to your cabin and watch the video on the telly, the mustering, or you can watch it on the Navigate app as well, because there's an option that says My Muster. Go on there and watch it as well. But your card should be scanned at the port. If not, it will be scanned before the ship sails, because that has to happen. You may have to go to reception to have it done, or one of the crew around the ship will have to do it. But I'm sure somebody will tell you. But I'm pretty sure that's the information that I've received about that anyway. The same thing will apply if you go from Dubrovnik or from Mallorca or from Tenerife or from the Caribbean, or wherever the ship goes from, or Naples or Corfu. Whichever port you go from, if you are on a late flight, the ship will still be there when you land, because obviously they have to wait for the passengers to arrive. But if you're doing a cruise and stay, then you'll just be transported to the ship from your hotel. And of course, anything that you've bought, they won't check it in the case, especially if you've got bottles of alcohol. Because in fact, I saw a post not long ago about somebody that had got some alcohol in their case, they've said, and they're saying, oh, it'll get confiscated when we get on the ship. No, it won't. Okay, it will. Your case will just get transported to your cabin from where you get picked up from your hotel. It'll be put on a coach and it'll be transported to your cabin. Just the same if you bought something in the airport and it's in your hand luggage, it won't get confiscated. It will just be put through security. But if you've got stuff that's in your suitcase, it's alcohol. If it's presents for people like bottles of whiskey or wine or whatever, it won't get confiscated. Okay. It will just get transported to your cabin. Same if you are in a hotel. So I hope that's answered that question, because I did read that earlier on social media. Some woman had put about it regarding, because they're in Cyprus apparently at the moment, and they're joining the ship when we do, and they've got alcohol in there because they've obviously got it from the airport or from where they've stayed, and they want to take it on board to perhaps have a drink in their cabin. Again, they won't confiscate it, don't worry. It'll just be transported to your room along with the rest of your luggage, basically. So, again, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But hopefully that's answered some of your questions. So please stay tuned to the channel. More updates to come. It's at CarlSmith25 to subscribe. And I will leave that at the end of the video as well in the outro. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and good evening.